Welcome to the Unapologetic with Jannine McKinnon podcast, your go-to place for approachable conversations around sacred sexuality and conscious relationships. I'm your host, Jannine McKinnon, certified trauma-informed sex, love, and relationship coach who's on a mission to support 1 million women and couples to experience deeper connection and more expansive pleasure inside and outside the bedroom. This is the space to go deep, to dive below surface level relationships and mess sex and explore the sacredness that sexuality and conscious relationships have to offer. Because deep connection, spiritual sexuality, full body orgasms, and transmuted sexual energy are available to everyone. And I'm here to serve the collective, to provide the knowledge, wisdom, and tools to access them. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful we're able to connect in this way, and I can't wait to dig into the contents of this episode with you. Without further ado, let's get into it. Hello and welcome back to the Unapologetic with Jannine McKinnon podcast. Today I am joined by Kyla Gagnon, Breathwork queen and women's empowerment coach, and just all around beautiful, beautiful human. And I'm excited to have her back. This is the second time now that she is on the podcast. So welcome back, Kyla.
Thank you, my lovely. Nice to see you again. It's been forever.
Not. No, Kyla and I are planning this incredible day retreat around sacred alchemy, blending in breath work and embodiment practices and manifestation for this just beautiful day retreat in a dome in Metchosin. So we've been seeing each other quite a bit and recorded an episode for her podcast just yesterday, like 24 hours ago.
Literally, yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's nice to be like deepening with you, you know, like we've known each other and we've been on each other's podcasts and we've been in spaces together, and there's been this, well, I'll speak for myself, but it's now coming to fruition, so I feel like it's equal, but this like attraction, it's like, oh, there's something here. And so it's been really fun to like create it and get to birth it together and get to spend more time together, and just get to kind of deepen our connection and friendship through this offering that we're co-creating and birthing. And manifesting, I might say. We're manifesting it.
Yes, we are manifesting, co-creating. And it has been nice. Like, I think we've been in each other's worlds for at least a couple of years now. Just met at a kind of business online event, I think, and reached out on Instagram. And there's always been like, ooh, who is this chick? I like what she's doing.
Totally.
Yeah. And just building those conversations, but having that deepening of like meeting each other in real life multiple times and co-creating together and being able to have more and more of these conversations, and just deepening is such a good word for it. Just really deepening that connection with each other.
Yeah. And I'm really craving that, I mean, in my life as a whole, but really with women lately, I'll say lately, but maybe it's been in the last like couple of years, and really this year, it's like you and I both talked about this desire to be collaborating and sharing. And I think that that's a big part of this really sweet, like rising of the feminine, but also healing of the sister wound that's happening. And it feels really good to be a part of, because I think back to my teen years and my 20s, not so much in my 30s, but probably it was still there. Yes. This like, whatever it was, insecurity, judgment, fear of other women, especially those who I thought maybe were, I don't know, more popular than me or more successful than me, or whatever the more than me might have been at that time. And now there's just been this sweet shift of like, yes, look at her go. And I want to be a part of it, but not from like I want to get in, but just like I want to be on the cheer squad. Like I want to be part of whatever we're celebrating here right now. And so I'm just really craving that with the women in my life. And that is not only like people like you who I'm co-collaborating with, but also the women that come into my spaces and are going to come into our space. It's like, yes, this is such rich, wonderful work that we get to do together. And like the layers of healing is like, it's unseen. It's unseen. Just the fact that we're able to come together in these spaces as women is healing in and of itself.
Yes, absolutely. I feel like this is what we're really meant to do as women. This is how we thrive. And it's something that we were disconnected from a long, long time ago. And we were told to compete with each other, to put each other down, try and be better. And for me, my wounds really came down throughout my childhood and teens. I had a few really, really good friends who ended up spreading a bunch of lies about me with my friend group. And so like that hurt so deeply. And it felt like I couldn't trust other women. Like I was always more of a guy's girl. I could hang out with the guys like so easily and enjoy myself. I'm like, that's too much drama over there with girls. Like I just don't want to deal with that. And now being able to work through those sister wounds, like that in itself has felt so good in my system, and like really allowing myself to be seen, and then being able to gather with women is like this whole other level where our bodies really are geared for this. Our hormones just go off. We get that oxytocin going, which our female bodies really thrive on. And we're able to connect in this deep, deep level, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and be witnessed in that as well. Like witnessing is so, so powerful. And then having that cheer squad, celebrating each other in it, like there's all of these layers to it. And it's like, yes, this is it. We need more of this.
As you were saying that, I was thinking like, you know, when women spend a certain amount of time together, their cycles start to sync. Like, is that not proof enough that we are meant to be together? Like, isn't that just proof that the universe is like, oh, okay, this is just how this is going to go. It's going to make total sense. They're going to be together forever because they should be in sisterhood. And so let's just have them cycle together. Yeah. And yet we've just spent so much time avoiding and resisting and fighting and anyway,
It's
all
the
of
time
that
of
to
coming
say.
back home.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It really is that remembering. And we've talked about this before, and from the outside looking in, it could feel like all of these shifts away from things, this like pushing back or fighting against certain structures. And sure, that can be a flavor of it. But for me, that deeper level is like, this is a remembrance. This isn't putting on another way of being, another way we should be. Like, I think a big part of the feminist movement, like absolutely we needed big parts of it to be able to vote and hold bank accounts and all of these different things. And I feel like it's gotten to a point, or there was a point where it's like, okay, women need to do everything men can do, also have the female duties, but also be robbed of like the specialness of what it is to be a woman. You're just supposed to like do all the things, which is not feminine energy at all. So it's really like a remembrance of like, no, we're really special. We can feel, we can connect, we can thrive in this way of just living and experiencing. And leaning into that, being proud for being women.
Yes. Yeah, not everyone gets to do this.
Yes. Yeah, feeling gets to be our superpower. And so how does breath tie into all of this? Because I know you have a super impactful story. I know breath like really helped me be able to feel and be in my body. So how does breath tie into all of this?
Yeah. So, in the biggest way, it's, and I'll just speak for myself because everyone has their own journey and their own relationship with it. But I can't actually even remember what parts of my story I shared on our first episode. But what I will share here is I lost my mom 2 weeks after my 20th birthday. And so still quite young, very, very young, was still living at home, still being treated like a child, having my house taken care of, my groceries paid for, all of those things. And I went into like hyper overdrive protection and forge forward and get, like move on, get my own place, get a job that pays for all the bills, my own groceries, my own insurance, like on my phone, like the whole laundry list of adult things that we all know so well now. But I didn't know any of that stuff. And I had this really hyper independent internal way of me, which I shouldn't have had, but I did for other reasons. And so that meant I didn't ask anyone for help. And so did I have loving family? I did. I had a dad who was totally present. They've been separated for my whole life, but he was, very present. I had aunts and uncles. I had people, and yet I never asked a single person for anything. And I just like locked myself up tight and forged forward for a very long time. And part of that forging forward for me looked like keeping myself incredibly busy so that I didn't have time. This is all like now I know. I didn't know what I was doing then, but I kept my schedule so jam-packed, like all through my 20s into my early 30s. I filled it with work. I filled it with like everything I was invited to. It was like, yes, I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll go out with you. I'll go with you. I'll do this. I'll do everything. I filled my schedule so jam-packed full. And what I now know is I was doing that to make sure that there was no space that I could possibly feel. I could ever like be slow enough or still enough with myself to actually feel what I was really truly feeling underneath the like really jam-packed full, busy, doing, performing. Look at how good and happy I am. Look at how, successful I am. Look at how whatever I was trying to prove. And it wasn't until I found breathwork that I felt all of what I'd been avoiding for, at that point, it was about 16 years. So it was around, my 36th year when I found breathwork, and I started to then unpack and move through the grief of losing my mom 16 years ago. And what a gift. I am so thankful, but it wasn't until I accessed my breath in that way that I even knew that I was avoiding these parts of myself, that I even knew I was closed off or shut down. I had no idea. I just thought that this was how you existed on hyperdrive. That was just normal. And countless times I would go to my naturopath or my acupuncturist or my massage therapist or whoever I was seeing at that time. And the first question always is like, how are your stress levels? How are you? And I was like, oh, I'm good. I love my job. There's nothing to be stressed about. And like, that was always my answer. I love my job. There's nothing to be stressed about, as if my job was the only thing that there would be to be stressed about. But also, side note, my job was totally stressing me out. And so I was just closed off from my feeling. I was so connected to my head and thinking and planning and doing and survival and making sure I was okay and everything was organized. And I was not. I was so disconnected from the rest of myself. And I just wouldn't have known. I just had no idea. I had no idea. And so it's like there was life before breathwork and life after breathwork. And to me, it's like the life after has been like really heart opening because I'm now like feeling everything. I feel everything. I cry all the time, and it's amazing, and I love it.
I love that. Like, it feels so good to be able to feel the things and like be okay feeling it.
It feels so good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I can also resonate with like that going, busy, feeling like life is great. This is what it should be. Like, I know when I was in that point, like I was having the time of my life. I was working myself ragged, partying every other chance I had. And there was a point where, like clockwork, every other Friday at around 11, 12, my body would actually shut down. And I would like get sick a few times, and I would just need to leave work and rest. And then I would be okay again. But I'm like, oh, it's fine. I just need to like rest for a few hours. Let's keep going.
It's like the puke and rally.
Yeah.
I never did that, but I had friends that were really good at it.
Oh, I was good at that.
I was terrible. I was like, send me out. I'm out. I can't do it.
Yeah. But it's like this badge of honors that we'll wear, right? That like we can do it all. We love these things. Sure, it stresses me out. And I do think like for some people there is that awareness, like there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
But also like this is just what life's like.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, when you're like in that state, what drew you to breathwork in the first place?
Oh, I didn't want anything to do with it. I was like so avoidant of it. I was teaching yoga at this point when breathwork came into my life, and I hadn't heard of breathwork as its own thing. And it was my acupuncturist who kept inviting me, and I was like, I don't know if I just didn't if I was embarrassed to ask what it was. I don't know. Or if I had this assumption that I knew what it was and it was what I was already doing in yoga. I don't really know what was happening there, but I just kept saying no. Like I just really felt like I didn't want to. I felt very resistant. And, you know, I believe that we resist what we need most. And I also believe that what we resist persists. And it did. She didn't stop asking. Every month she's like, you want to come to breathwork this week? You want to come to breathwork? And I was like, no. Anyways, something shifted. I don't know. Planets moved. I don't know what happened, but she asked and I was like, yeah, I'm free. I can come. And it was, I mean, the actual session itself was probably 90 minutes, 2 hours, and we were in breath for like 45 or 50 minutes, and that changed my life. It completely changed the trajectory of my life. And I left her session, I hired her teacher, and I began to burn my fitness business to the ground. And I just dove headfirst into this work. I knew in one session that this was what my body was missing, this was what my spirit was missing, and this is what I felt the world was missing, and I was the one to share it. It was like every cell in my body, every living molecule in my body was like ding 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 ding. This is it. And I trust that, you know, I just wasn't maybe ready for that before, which is why I was in avoidance. And for whatever reason, I was ready to receive that at that time.
Sounds like that remembering. It was divine timing.
And I've said that. I'm like, I've done this for lifetimes. I remember all of this and so much more.
I feel the same way about my work when I went through my coaching program. I was like, oh, I've done this for many, many lifetimes. Yeah. This is just that download in this lifetime.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And of course you have. And I didn't even know, like, I think we may have met in the online spaces maybe before you had completed your program. I'm not even sure where you're at, but I feel like I've just never known another version of you, and I can't possibly picture another way in which that you work in this world. It's like, no, this is just what you do. Of course.
Yeah, I think we probably crossed paths when I was just in the beginning stages of my program. So that would have been like 22 or early 23. Yeah. And it's who we are. Similarly, I can't really picture you as like being so go, because like for me, and I was having this talk with Allison from Soulstar Energy Collective, because we've been collaborating on things too. And it's just like your voice. Like I can just listen to your voice all day long. And I feel like that's something that must have shifted with breath work, that you didn't have this like calm, grounded way of speaking. It's that go version of yourself.
Yeah, I think I maybe tapped into it a teeny bit with yoga, but I remember my aunt, who oh my God, I love my aunt. She's the coolest woman. I want to have her on the podcast. I should actually bring her to the event. Oh, she might love that. She watched one of my, I don't know, she joined one of my like 30 days of breathwork or something. And she called me and she said, Kyla, I have to tell you what a joy it is to watch you evolve into this woman. You speak so slowly and confidently and calmly. And I remember when you didn't. I remember when you were just so fast and like high strung, and it just was like, there was so much to try to like understand and be with. But yeah, there's been a shift. I was like, wow, thank you. That is such a compliment, because I think that I used to talk really fast. Well, I probably had to, because I probably had an appointment to get to. But I think it was probably out of like insecurity and nervousness and if I take up too much space with my talking, people are actually going to hear me and they're actually then going to see me. And if I create this spacious conversation, they might ask me a question that I don't know the answer to, or that I don't want to answer. And now I'm like, oh, I'm open book. You ask me whatever you want. And if I don't know the answer, I'm just going to say, I don't know.
Yeah, it's okay.
That's okay. Yeah. So it was, thank you for saying that. And it has been an evolution.
I love that she had reflected that to you too. And I feel like I've noticed that within myself. And I had a teacher, a mentor point it out, and now it's something that I notice. And I feel like there is a difference when people are caught up in their heads versus in their bodies.
Yeah.
You just speak in a different way. It tends to be when you're in your head, like it's later and go, 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 da, 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 da. And then when you're in your body, like it's giving that space to feel what you're speaking. And also, as you were talking, I'm sensing there's like that worthiness as well, because it's like, oh, I don't want to take up other people's time with me. It's like, no, this is how we get to connect with each other, to take up space, to go into those deeper levels. And so, speaking about deeper levels, with our event being all about manifestation, how does like manifestation tie into all of this for you?
Yeah. Well, the feeling. It comes back to the feeling. The idea of manifesting and manifestation, I mean, it's ancient and real, and it's here. And we live in a very heady, logical, go thinking society. And there's a lot of checklists of things that you should do in order to be a successful business owner, be a good mom, be a good partner. Here's how you manifest. Here's a good morning routine. Like there's a list and a how-to for everything. And all of that is very heady, it's all very heady. And so I have been the woman who was like, I'm manifesting, and I'll just like ask spirit for what I want. And then I might write about it a couple times, and then that's kind of it. And it doesn't work. It hasn't worked because I've been thinking about it. I've been checking off boxes and, doing the things that I'm told logically to do. And I haven't been tapping into the feelings of it. It's like, okay, I'm open to receiving, I have one, but a dreamy partner. Let's say I'm calling in the love of my life, or I'm calling in a vacation, or I'm calling in a certain amount of money, or whatever that might be. I'm trying not to use the word want. I find it to be very lacking, so I'm not going to use that word, but I desire, or I'm really open to receiving. And so it's like, okay, well, what is that? Let's say you're calling in the love of your life. It's not the person. Yes, of course, the person's important, but it's how is that person going to make me feel? How is having the love of my life going to make me feel? It's probably going to make me feel soft and excited and turned on and expansive and like grateful and alive and like all the things. And so it's sort of this act of, or this practice of pre-training our body to feel that, so that when it does come, our body's like, I know that. Match, ding, 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 ding. Look at us being magnetized to each other, because I know that feeling, because I've been in that feeling. I've been practicing that feeling. I know that feeling. And so look at me being a perfect magnet to the thing that supports this feeling. And that has been, for me, a huge missing piece historically, is the feeling aspect of it. And you asked me earlier, like, how has breathwork supported me in that? And it's like, well, I couldn't feel before. I was numb. I was closed off. I was in my head. I didn't even know that there was, like, I would have turned this conversation off years ago, because I just like wouldn't have even known what the hell we were talking about. Feeling, what is that? And so breath work, like it it clears the gunk, and it opens up, I think it opens up our truth. It opens up this like, yeah, this true aspect of ourself. But in terms of specifically manifestation, it allows us to start feeling the feelings of what we're calling in. If it's money, what is that money gonna bring you? What is the feeling? Freedom, excitement, pride, like the opposite of stress, like release, relief, you know.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yay.
And with manifestation, really is that feeling state that's the shift. And as you were speaking, it just like popped in. It's like, of course it didn't work before, and I didn't understand why. Like we had touched on in our podcast, like I had those particular goals, and I would like stand and do my affirmations, and like I called out that I had these certain goals, but I wasn't feeling it, but I didn't know what feeling it meant. I would just be like, this doesn't work. I'm saying my affirmations, like I'm feeling it, thinking that I am. But it's like, no, that's not what feeling is. And when you actually anchor into that feeling state, it makes such a difference. As you said, like that's where you're just really sending out that frequency. You're becoming that magnet. And I do think there's like a little bit of a logical piece that popped in for me as well. Is like, who is this person that has this? So like say with the partner, what kind of partner do you want to be?
Yes.
What kind of partner is that person going to want to pair up with too? Because I think we can be so caught up on our like current situation, and it's like, oh, the version of me that has that doesn't act this way.
Yeah.
And so it's like, yes, feeling like you already have it, and also taking those actions, behaving in that way as that person that actually does have it.
Yeah. And even on that, like I'll just, as an example, like a real-time example. What day is it today? Tuesday? So I think on Friday, I had a couple of women reach out inquiring about Breathe with Kyla, inquiring about my membership. And I write a daily journal. Well, I have a couple, but at night I do a scripting practice, and then I do a gratitude. And I was just writing about what I was writing in my gratitude journal, and I write as if it's happened, even if it hasn't. So I was writing, I'm so grateful that so-and-so has joined us inside of the membership. And I wrote it, I think it was Friday. And I had 3 of them. I think there's about 5 women who reached out, and 3 of them all signed up in the last 24 hours. And I'm like, okay, yeah. Cause I was like, I was literally like sitting in the gratitude. I'm like, oh, like I was envisioning them, like getting the email of like, congratulations, so-and-so's in the community. And I was allowing myself to feel that gratefulness, feel the excitement as I was writing it. And here we are, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 5 days later.
Yeah. Just days. Yeah. It can happen so quickly.
Yeah.
And I've similarly with sales, like I've done sex magic practices where it's like that feeling state of seeing certain notifications coming in, and then feeling that gratitude and that excitement, and seeing again it popping up, and just building that feeling, and waking up to that notification of someone buying something I hadn't sold in months and months and months.
Yeah.
Like it really can happen very quickly and out of nowhere.
Yeah.
When you're in that feeling state. Another example, and this is a reminder I need to finish up my part on it, but one thing I like to anchor in when it comes to financial abundance is that money flows to me effortlessly and easily from places both known and unknown.
Yes.
And since anchoring that in, the random checks I get for all different things is like, what? Like, this. I think I have $250 in 2 random checks. That's from some affiliate thing I would have done like 5 or 6 years ago. That's like based in Idaho. And it's like, for our law, we need to reach out to you and send you this check for your unclaimed accounts, or else it goes to this.
Great.
And like that's happened multiple times. Like it really can just pop out of completely nowhere, and
Yeah.
anchoring into that feeling state is that key difference.
Yes. I love that. I love that for you. Love the
Yeah.
extra checks.
Yes.
Yeah. I got it. I have a check from Toyota. I leased my car for like 5 years and then I bought it out last month.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like a I don't know. They were like, "Oh, I don't remember the details, but basically Toyota's going to send you a check because maybe like the time in which my last payment went out. I don't know what it was. I have a check for $81.35 from Toyota.
Ah.
And here's the thing, like with manifesting money and gratitude, it's like I'm gonna celebrate that like it's $8,000.
Yes.
And if it
Yes.
was a nickel, like this is the thing, is it's all energy. Like it is
Mm-hmm.
all energy. Everything is energy. Everything. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
Including money. Including money. And so what is the energy that that money would be attracted to? Money's a high vibe. I think money's high vibe. So what is it going to be
Mm-hmm.
attracted to? High vibe. And so what is the highest vibrational frequency? Gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
Gratitude. So can we be in gratitude as often as possible? Can I be grateful for a nickel? Can I be grateful for a bill that comes in the mail that I have to pay?
Mm-hmm.
Like, can we be in gratitude for the exchange of money? If we're talking about money, also love, also like opportunity, all of the things. But being in that energy is really what's going to attract whatever it is that you're open to receiving in.
Yes. And I think that like celebrations for me ties into this. And celebrations is a big part of my work because it reinforces we're doing the good thing. And it is just an act of gratitude. And that there's nothing too small to celebrate or have gratitude for. Like I have a thing where I love dimes and I find dimes everywhere. Even my daughter, we were out shopping and she just looked down at like the cashier desk in one of the holes for the wires, and there was a random dime in there that they like dug out and gave her, which was so sweet. And now she's with me and we just like find dimes everywhere.
I
But
love
that can
that.
happen for all different things. And
Yeah.
like maybe it's even physical health that we're wanting to really prioritize that. And it's, oh, like I feel so good in my body eating this nutritious food that I made myself. Like, oh, I love putting this energy into my body again, bringing it back to everything is energy and taking all of those moments to really appreciate it, have that gratitude, and just keep building that momentum. And every time we do, I think it really cements it in our nervous system. Like, yes, this is the state that I want to feel. Let's keep coming back home to this, make this the new baseline.
I don't know if you saw that trend that was going around Instagram, but it was like I woke up on my 85th birthday in my 30-year-old body. Did you?
I love
I
those.
think that is such a beautiful, like speaking of like physical health, that is such a
Mhm.
beautiful practice. I think even just to consider, like, okay, it's my 85th birthday or 90th birthday, but I wake up in my 40-year-old body or my,
Mhm.
like, consider that. Consider what there is to be grateful for in that and how incredible that would feel and feel it now. Like,
Mhm.
yes, I just thought that was the sweetest thing. And also, like, really powerful if put into use.
Absolutely. And I think it goes to show like we're in charge of our feeling state. Life's going to happen, different things are going to come up, but it's up to us what perspective we have. We can right now just be our like normal self and then all of a sudden choose to take on the mindset of our 85 or 90-year-old self, grateful to be in this moment. It is a switch that we can flip. We
Yeah.
are in charge of that feeling state.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like, yes, let's feel it all. So, in terms of our event coming up, June
June
7th
7th.
in this beautiful dome in Metchosin, 5 hours together to really connect in sisterhood, diving into manifestation. You're doing your breathwork flavor. I'm doing my sex magic embodiment flavor. We're celebrating together. So share about your piece and what you're excited about.
Okay, well, first I'm excited to be in the actual location. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Yeah, and to be in there with a bunch of really amazing women is going to be such a sweet day. And I'm bringing in, yeah, the work around the resistance and the work around maybe the inner stories that we've been fighting with of like, well, I've done this before and it hasn't worked. And, and I have a really fun, sassy little piece I'm going to bring in at the that I haven't shared with you, but I just think it's the greatest thing. I almost shared it. I almost was going to share it here in this episode, but I'm going to save it. I wonder if I can tease it a little bit. It's so good, and it's not mine. I learned it from a mentor, but she was talking about. Okay, how can I tease this? Okay, talking about the subconscious being the feminine and the conscious being the masculine. Okay, that makes sense. And right, because if the subconscious is like, I'll receive anything, like I'll just take anything in, and I'll do with it what I please, but I will receive it all. And the conscious is very much like and so the piece I'm going to share is about impregnating the subconscious with a very strong belief, because in order to impregnate someone, literally, you need a very firm, strong something, right? So the way she describes this is so playful and fun, and it just was like ding ding. It changed everything for me. So fun. I can't wait to share it. Okay, so I'm gonna bring that in. It's gonna be really, really fun and playful, and we're gonna have lots of giggles, but it's also gonna be like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. And then we're going to use the breath to really like actually move through our body the resistance and the fears and the stories and the like I can't and I'm not worthy of that or whatever the story is. We're gonna like really get that out. We're gonna get that out, way out of the body, and we're gonna begin to open you up to receive. And then we're going to introduce you.
Yes. And so from that opened up state, that's let go of those stories and all of that shit. And we're just fully open, ready to receive, impregnated, excited for that. And that's when we're going to begin to activate our sexual energy, activate our sacral. And so I will just put it out there that this is like non-sexual. We're doing it through breath, through perhaps touches over our clothes, our arms, our face. And as we activate ourselves, this is that potent sexual life force energy, tying it into that impregnated piece. Like, this is what creates life. We will be birthing something together, that which we wish to call in. This is a birthing process. And so we are activating this energy, bringing it through our energy channels, cleansing each chakra, really tying that in with that desire and how we can anchor that in through each of those phases before shooting it out like a beacon of light into the universe. That we're calling in, and then slowly bringing it down into the 3D realm. So from that very activated state, shooting everything out, we're fully open and online. We're slowly melting it back down, shifting and becoming the version of us that already has our desires, already has that which we are calling in.
Yes.
Yes. And then we come together again, weaving in that sisterhood piece, those celebrations, claiming our desires together, cheering each other on for it. Such a beautiful space.
It's going to be so good. Yeah. And we have tickets on sale now. Yeah.
Yes, we do. So I'll leave the link in the show notes. $175 for 5 hours together. I believe it's 11 to 4 on Saturday, June 7th.
In Metchosin, the dome is spectacular. It's got a beautiful view of like forest forest, and kind of just before you actually step into the dome, you can see the mountains and a little bit of the ocean, and then there's this beautiful little creek that drips underneath, and sometimes we can hear it, and just a beautiful like addition to like cleanse, like release and cleanse what is holding you stuck and stagnant. And yeah, it's gonna be such a special day.
Yes, it's like return to togetherness, return to our body, return to the earth and this beautiful space. It's a remembrance, a powerful one.
I'm here for it.
All right, so we will leave that all linked in the show notes. We would love for you to join us. I'm so excited. Do you have any last words for those that are listening, whether it's about the event or breathwork or just reclaiming themselves?
Oh, I'm just going to say really simply, I'll keep it like super short and sweet. Trust the first niggle. Whatever the like initial, if there was a pull of any sort to anything we just talked about, maybe it's not to the event, but maybe it's to, what is she talking about in sex magic? What is she talking about in breathwork? Like if there's a pull, follow it. Just let it be a thread. You don't have to know the like end result, but just to be curious about that pull, that niggle. And if it was for the event, yay. The next step is going to be scroll to the show notes and click the button and learn about it. And if you have questions, just reach out to Jannine or I, and we can have a convo and see if this is the right fit for you right now.
Yes, I love that. Like I think our desires really speak our soul essence in a lot of way, and just following that curiosity, seeing it where it takes us, and just trusting ourselves in the process to see how it all unfolds.
Yeah, we've been mistrusting ourselves for a really, really long time. And on the topic of remembering, there's also a lot of unlearning. And this is the one thing that I really pray for the men and women to actually come back to trusting themselves.
Yes.
Yeah, first and foremost.
Yeah, that trust, that self-responsibility. I feel like we can go on and on, but we'll leave it at that. Thank you. Where can people find you to connect with you? You have Breathe with Kyla that you mentioned, your own podcast.
Yeah.
Tell us all about it.
Yeah, it's funny. Earlier today I forgot my Instagram handle because I changed it, and it used to be Breathe with Kyla. Anyways, there was a whole account switch over. It's now Breathwork with Kyla. So Instagram is where I am mostly found. So Breathwork with Kyla. My website's kylagagnon.com. Podcast is Reclaimed. And essentially, those three places is where you're going to find me. Yeah.
Great. We will leave that all linked in the show notes so it's nice and easy for those listening. So thank you so much again for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for those listening, and just sending you off with so much love. Thank you for joining us inside the Unapologetic with Jannine McKinnon podcast. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you feel called, I would so appreciate it if you left us a review to help us reach more women and couples so they can experience deeper connection and more expansive pleasure inside and outside the bedroom too. Until next time, embrace your desire and experience your magic.